birthday, kids. What time is it?
Hi guys, Keith here from GeekTime TV with another selection from the vault. Why another selection from the vault? Well, if you notice my voice, it's just starting to come back now. It's been gone for the better part of a week. So I decided to pull a segment out of Mothballs from GeekTime Radio. This was recorded in 2020 on our audio podcast, then rebranded as GeekTime Radio. And it was a segment we did based on an article on movies that might not hold up anymore. It's an interesting crop that was on this list, and yeah, you might be offended at some of my criticism of certain movies, but it doesn't mean I don't love them and they're not on my shelf over there. So anyway, enjoy movies that don't hold up. It's myself, Edson, and then co-host Alan Spaulding. Enjoy.
Movies that just don't hold up. Welcome back, GeekTime Radio, motherfucker. I like it when my voice gets up in that little register. You'll probably edit it out. That's fine.
I like when you do that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I never edit that out.
It's like, oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, jeez. GeekTime. What's our thing, Keith? Sorry.
At GeekTime Net.
Yeah, GeekTime Net on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can check out the channel. We're obviously, don't have a whole lot of content yet, but we're working on it. Live streams.
Well, we have the old content.
We have old content. That's true from Pizza Pop Culture, and that was some great stuff with our good friends George and Angelo.
It's all still there, actually. If you go to GeekTime Radio on the website, there's a pull down, right, and it'll have Pizza and Pop Culture under there, and all the episodes are there.
Oh yeah, so listen to those. We're developing new content for GeekTime Network. It's going to be really exciting and really interesting, and we hope to do some really good stuff. But visit the social media pages. Let us know you're out there. Follow us, and if you have a question, check out send us an email rather on geektimenet@gmail.com.
I have a question.
Does it hurt?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are we going to talk about?
We are going to talk about blockbuster movies that just don't hold up anymore.
Boring. No, I'm kidding.
Or maybe not so blockbuster.
That's my line. It doesn't have to be so blockbuster. But I did a little interwebs action.
Okay.
So there's this list published in July of 2018, and I'm not sure I agree with all the movies on here.
I wonder if some that I think are on there.
But let's just define what we're talking about that just don't hold up. What does that mean?
I would say that means they're pigeonholed into a certain. You look at it, the era it's from, and it just hasn't aged well. Whether it be politically incorrect or sensibilities have just completely changed. It just doesn't seem to play contemporary anymore. It might be a horror movie that's not scary anymore.
Right.
Stuff like that.
Okay, so on this list starts off with Avatar, James Cameron's Avatar, 2009.
I'd say that was already dated when it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And why is he going to make 58 sequels to it? Nobody cares.
Sequel. He's going to make sequels?
Oh, yeah.
He's already done with two of them.
He
announced that he's done with two of them already.
Well, we haven't seen them because of the COVID.
Right.
Oh.
Which is the big irony of it. He's like, hey, I'm done. Well,
it's like the one blockbuster announcement and nobody gave a crap about it anyway, right?
Well, you make a sequel because everybody liked the character. Here's an example of...
That was a big dumb cartoon.
Let's make a sequel because some people like the blue people.
Right.
I don't know. It just was a long movie, and I just thought it was kind of odd. It just didn't strike well with me.
James Cameron sunk with the Titanic.
Oh.
But did people really like it because of the story was interesting, or they liked the characters? Wasn't that more like a talk on environmental?
It seemed like an over
preachy.
the top.
Yeah, preachy. Yeah. Thank you. That's the perfect word.
Yeah, every character was archetypal, and it was all the tropes were in there. Like it was just such a basic, bland. So what? It was in revolutionary 3D. I mean, whatever.
Revolutionary. I won't watch a movie in 3D.
No, but back then 3D was hot when it came
okay.
out, and Cameron supposedly had his own
Okay.
process that made it better than anybody else's. Or, I couldn't tell you. I don't remember anything except for the cheesy characters. You know, the over testosterone filled military guy and the Disney-esque little blue people.
Well, it's a perfect example of, okay, we've got this really cool effect for a tree, and now get ready because we're going to fly in a way that you've never seen before.
Right.
So we're all leading up to these things. It's just like, it just wasn't natural. It was all too much of a build-up.
You hit the nail on the head, I think. It was a story built around a visual effect.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's trying to show off.
He's like, look at
what
this
I
cool
can do.
technology. Let's just make a bad story to fill in the
Yeah,
hole.
let's forget about
Right.
interesting characters or a good story. You know.
Plot
A
development.
point.
Yeah.
So a movie I didn't see. A movie I didn't see was Any Given Sunday.
Oh God, yeah. There's another one. Have you seen that, Edson?
I know I saw it once. I didn't see it at the theaters.
Me either.
What's it about?
It's supposed to be a realistic look at NFL Sunday. And when the
Al
guy's
Pac-
eyeball popped out, I was like, okay, this is just ridiculous.
Wait,
This
what?
is so dumb.
What do you mean?
It's
his
just
eyeball
over the
popped out?
top violent. The guy loses an eye on the field. It was bad. It's bad. It's Oliver Stone was
Did
on
that really happen?
whatever designer drug he was on when he made that one
A football player lost his eye on the field?
in the movie, not in
In the
real
movie.
life.
Oh, that's
They're
what I'm-
trying to.
oh.
They're trying to
Hit
say
you
how
hard,
violent the
yes.
game is, so they went
On any
way
given
over the
Sunday.
top, like way over the
How
top.
hard was that guy?
They were just short of disembowelment on that. It was bad.
That was Al Pacino, right?
Al Pacino, yeah, he was the coach.
Yeah. Okay.
We're gonna go win the game. Yeah, it was awful. I think his team was supposed to be the Oakland Raiders, and he was supposed to be Al Davis kind of a guy, like a hybrid of John Madden and Al Davis. It was ridiculous, and they had like Lawrence Taylor in there, and they had some NFL players
LT?
in there. My brother was like, "You got to see this. It's so accurate," and I was like, "It's a cartoon. It's
Yeah.
awful. It
It's
was awful."
so accurate.
It's more like that whole thing about it's like anything for the game. It's like no matter what no matter how hurt you get, you
right.
sacrifice your
Well, what-
body and you sacrifice
So basically, it was Oliver Stone Platoon meets the gridiron,
NFL.
the gridiron.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Why? Why would a director like that make a dumb movie?
Well, like I
this?
said, whatever designer drug he was on, it seemed like a good idea at the time.
Mission Impossible 2.
Oh,
It all says here in this
John
thing-
Woo. That's all you have to say.
It says director. It says for director. It says DIR. But my quick look at it says doctor. So I almost just said Dr. John Woo.
Dr. John Woo. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah,
about that.
I recently watched all of those in order just before Fallout, the last one came out. I watched all 5 and then saw Fallout. That second one is so dated in style. It's all the style. I mean, the John Woo, the slow motion looking at each other across a crowded room stuff, and just the over the top, like jumping in the air and spinning with the 2 guns, and stuff that was in vogue in the late
Matrix.
90s.
Matrix-esque.
Yeah, not quite as.
Not
See,
even?
The Matrix was science fiction, so that you get away with that.
Right.
Plus, they invented that whole bullet time thing.
Right.
John Woo. John Woo was like the biggest thing in the late '90s, and gone. He was a one-trick pony.
Well, because he does things like this.
Yeah.
X-Men.
Well, which one?
The first
The
one?
original 2000.
Okay.
Brian Singer's X-Men.
Yeah, it feels small because it was small. It was low budget. Tom Rothman at Sony or Fox, expected it to fail. He's now at Sony, so he kind of set Bryan Singer up to fail. Limited budget, limited resources. I give Bryan Singer a lot of credit. A lot of people are mad because it mangles X-Men continuity quite a bit, but
Yeah.
I get why he did what he did. There was no such thing as a blockbuster superhero movie in the year 2000.
Well, no, but according to the critics that are talking about this article, the financial success, the success of the movie is one thing, but they were talking about stuff like the relationship between the characters in there. How does Wolverine not recognize Sabretooth, for example?
And they have a long history.
They said Guy Fieri. It's like Guy Fieri not recognizing pizza.
Yeah, well, again, that first movie wasn't supposed to go deep into the lore of each character. It's just supposed to introduce them to a general audience and get them to like it. Mission accomplished. They liked it. It made a lot of money. And look what happened since. It really was the kickoff to what we know now as all the superhero genre.
Yeah.
But, there's a lot of mistakes, and it's to me, the basic plot is horrible.
Yeah,
That
so-
Magneto like makes a big magnet that turns people into mutants. It's just like dumb.
Right.
And I mean, I completely hated it because I was such a fan
Of
of
the
the books. So I hated all the parts about the continuity and the characters. They got most of the characters wrong.
Yeah, they were except Wolverine. They were all
Wolverine, of course, because they knew that was the one that
Right.
they would flock to. So they got him right. But but then after learning about how what budget he was given, I mean, I guess he did the best he could with it. I just wish there was a little bit more thought into the interactions of the characters.
It's actually funny because I remember when that was coming out, Pete, too bad he had to leave, said, it looks horrible. They're all wearing black leather. They're not even wearing their costumes. And I said, Pete, who would pay to see a movie where they're wearing those garish, bright-colored costumes? Nobody. And then the movie comes out, and there's a line in the movie. Wolverine says, black leather outfits, and Cyclops says, what would you prefer, yellow spandex?
Yeah.
Like they
Which
self-reference that exact thought,
yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I mean, at least they admitted they knew.
Right. No, if they came out wearing colored spandex, it would have bombed. It would have looked ridiculous.
Right,
They
because-
had to put that realistic edge
Okay.
on it. You know?
And shiny leather works.
Right.
I guess. Spider-Man 2007. Spider-Man 3. Sorry, 2007. Sam Raimi.
Yeah. That's just a mess of a movie. I don't know if it's dated or not.
That's the last one.
Although
with
in
Tobey
hindsight,
Maguire.
it does make all the following Spider-Mans look. It looks like a classic compared to those, but compared to Spider-Man 1 and 2, you had the Sandman, a bad Venom. You had the emo Peter thing going on where he's dancing at the jazz club.
This is the line here. Spider-Man 3 is far and away the most egregious offender when it comes to taking something with light years worth of potential and doing basically the worst possible things to it.
Yeah.
What was it supposed to be a lead up to Sinister Six, or was that supposed to be? No,
I think, and I could be wrong, but I think what was the plan was that Raimi wanted to put Venom in Spider-Man 4.
Okay.
And I think they were going to cap him at a trilogy, and they kind of forced him to put Venom in
so that
because
might
Venom's
be
popular.
why it became such a mess. Okay.
I don't think he wanted Venom in the movie at all. And then there was the bad Harry Osborn Green Goblin Jr. thing, and it was just...
Let me read some more. Maybe this will spark you. There are far too many villains, first off. James Franco's Harry Osborn. It's always a problem with movies. Why do we have the Penguin and Poison Ivy and Mr. Freeze all in the same movie?
Well,
Batman
Penguin
Forever.
wasn't in that one, but Bane was. It was Bane, Poison Ivy, and Mr. Freeze. You're talking about Batman and Robin?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Bane?
It was Bane.
Oh,
Penguin.
yeah.
It was Penguin, Catwoman, and Max Shrek.
Sorry. Yes. That's what I'm trying to say. In multiple movies in the early Batman series, they kept throwing in all the... Why are they doing that?
Right.
I'll tell you why. Because in the first one...
To sell action figures, that's why.
Yes. So James Franco's Harry Osborn / Goblin is tasked with treading through about 4 different layers of consciousness before he found his heroic streak at the end of the 3rd act. At which point, none of us really cared.
He keeps getting like amnesia. They keep like banging him on the head and stuff.
Thomas Hayden Church's Sandman.
Great casting.
Was basically a plot device to show off new cutting-edge CGI.
Yeah, they didn't do... Sandman in the comics is one of the few villains Spider-Man has with depth. A lot of depth.
And
Yeah.
And you talked about the jazz dancing scene.
Yeah,
it
that's
says,
iconic.
Tobey Maguire's dance choreography while morphing into emo Peter in real time is still maddening, and I refuse to believe it actually ever happened.
It was so bad.
Well, I don't remember
It's
that
cringe.
scene.
It's cringe. He gets the Venom symbiote
Right.
on him, and it makes him aggressive, and he decides to become like an
While he's
asshole.
dancing?
He goes to a jazz club and dances like an asshole.
No, you're right.
Look it up on YouTube,
But
bitches.
it goes back to what you said about trying to stuff in all these costume characters into one story that don't belong.
Right.
And forget the story. Forget the story. Just
Right.
throw them all in there, and hope that somebody likes 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah.
80s movies that don't...
There's a lot that don't hold
hold up. Electric Boogaloo.
No, that doesn't count. Didn't
Footloose.
really.
Footloose? Oh, okay.
I haven't watched that in a long time. I watched Poltergeist last week.
Oh.
And while still a good film, is not scary in the least. In fact, you laugh at a lot of it. But it's still a well done film. But there's one that hasn't aged very well. I mean, that was terrifying in 1982.
Right.
But now it's just you go.
Well, we've got so many jokes about it. We've desensitized ourselves to that sort of thing, and nobody wants to see that little old lady, little tiny round lady.
This house is clean.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's not even that so much as the scares are not scary. The tree comes in and picks up the kid, and I start laughing. The clown grabs the kid, and I start laughing. The demon comes out of the closet, and I start laughing.
Oh, Keith. That's
It's not.
Well,
It just hasn't
Today-
aged well today. I mean, the guy eats the chicken with the maggots and rips his face off, and I start laughing. It does not devalue the film in my mind. It's still a brilliantly crafted film. It's really, really well done. And I think the chemistry with Craig T. Nelson and Jo Beth Williams was fantastic. They were very real.
They were very real.
And the whole thing was very real and very grounded. It just, the scares are not scary anymore.
all the ways that they convey the scariness.
Doesn't work.
The Last Starfighter.
Although, before we move on to that, I did think watching it, because now that I know that when she falls in the pool and those bodies start popping up, those were real bodies, and I cannot believe they did that to her.
Those were real bodies.
Those were real bodies.
No, they
That's
weren't.
Yes,
not-
they were. Look it up.
Wait a minute. No.
They say the movie's cursed because of that, and that's why everybody who was around that had
Wow.
misfortune.
Nuh-uh.
Yes.
I
It's
mean-
kind of ironic when you think about it, because the line in the movie is like, you move the headstones, but you forgot to move the bodies.
That was the whole point
That's
of
That was the
why.
whole
point.
point
that
of
was-
why.
And then they actually used
real bodies. I don't know who the art director was that thought that was a good idea.
This Poltergeist star had no idea the dead bodies were real.
See?
But
If you had a really bad day, blah, 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 Poltergeist movie about a family accidentally moves, they've ditched the real bodies, but the modern film
Yeah.
industry is facing... Okay.
Our
let's see.
friend Ryan Turek, native of Wallingford, Connecticut, who now works for Blumhouse, is featured on a documentary series on the Shudder channel called Cursed Films. And they talk all about that on the Poltergeist episode.
They were cheaper than
fake.
but how do they
skeletons.
get that permission? Well,
And there's
Okay.
where they're landing on top of her. Jo Beth Williams is like throwing them off of her, and I'm thinking the whole time, Jesus Christ, that's a real corpse. So yeah, that part's
That's
scary.
I didn't know that.
did she know when she?
I
shot
don't
the
think
scene?
they told her. I
Wow.
don't think they told her.
I don't think she would have done it.
No, probably not.
I'm surprised there's
I'm
not
shocked
a big
that
lawsuit.
was. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was allowed.
The Last Starfighter.
Yeah, The Last Starfighter. That's cheesemo.
That was just.
Weekend at Bernie's.
Oh, Weekend at Bernie's is
But that's.
silly to begin with.
It says, here's the deal. Death isn't funny.
But that was never really. meant
As
to-
somebody
Like,
was
yeah, come on.
experienced-
They're dragging a dead body around him and trying to pretend he's still alive. I mean, to me, it seems like a lot of the horror movies
See, Daryl.
from that era, like Halloween. It's a classic. It's really well done. One of the best independent movies ever made. But is it scary now? No.
No.
I think it's a combination of times changing and the fact that I think we're just desensitized to a guy with a butcher knife running around
Right.
stabbing people. It's like turn
Compared-
on the evening news and you see that
Yeah.
now, right?
Compared to what you see now.
Yeah,
it's
you
like,
see
okay.
iPhone footage worse than that, right? So,
Right.
Oh, okay. So
I
Although
look
the music still.
the music's great, and no, I mean the direction, the cinematography, everything about it's great, but it doesn't scare me like it used to.
going through and talking about movies that don't hold up anymore, I kind of feel like if you liked it, I think that's all that really matters.
Oh, of course, I draw the parallel again to Poltergeist. Does it scare me? No. Do I still like it? Yeah.
I
Oh,
still
yeah.
go back and watch it.
Yeah.
Right. What movie is your secret that you wouldn't want to share tell most people that you like to
Oh,
watch?
that's aged out, but you still love?
I don't know if you see. The point is that if you still love it, it hasn't really aged out for you.
No,
Wow.
for a general audience would look
I
at it
didn't
and
think
say
about
that
that.
doesn't hold up anymore. I got one.
You've got one. Okay,
Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, okay.
That's a good one.
But the sensibilities and everything that go with it wouldn't work anymore.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I can think of a lot of TV shows. I'm trying to think of a movie.
Well, there's two movies that I don't usually like to tell people: Smokey and the Bandit
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
and Tango and Cash.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
With is it Kurt Russell
Yeah.
and Sylvester Stallone? Is
Yeah.
that who it is?
Yep.
I think they're hilarious in that movie.
You Smokey and the Bandit's a good one.
Smokey and the Bandit and Tango and Cash is the origin of what phrase that was popular for quite a while?
Where's the beef?
No. Fubar.
Oh, really?
Oh, FUBAR.
Wow.
All right, this will probably really make people laugh at me. It's not an old movie, and it's based on a TV series that was just as bad or corny. The A-Team.
Oh, there you
Dun,
go.
dun, dun, dun,
they had-
dun, dun, dun.
How did they make that into a movie without Mr. T? How do you do
Right.
How did they do it?
How-
That's like
That I don't know.
okay. Here's pop quiz.
But I
guys.
did like it. I mean,
What's the theme for SWAT, the television show?
that? I don't know. I'm not singing it.
Edson.
I don't know. SWAT.
Okay.
Yeah, and you always listen. Yeah.
Anyway, all right, guys.
But
It's
yeah.
a good topic. Cannonball Run, that's another one.
Cannonball
Run.
one. Okay.
It's a mad
Yeah,
world.
there you go.
Guys, thanks so much. On behalf of Mr. Edson Gomez, Mr. Keith Larson, I didn't introduce you guys at the beginning, did I?
They know who we are.
Have a great week. We'll see you next time.
They killed the giggler, man. They killed the giggler! They had no business doing that. None.
Thanks for watching GeekTime TV. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe, make sure to check the little bell icon anytime someone from our network drops new content here. Want some GeekTime swag? Check out the merchandise available in the GeekTime TV store, linked in the channel description below. Share GeekTime TV with friends, and as always, thank you for your support. We'll see you soon.